Hey guys, today I just wanted to share a little bit about my Miata project that I have. I've had this car for about a year and a half. Unfortunately, everything I've recorded has pretty much all been in a portrait format, so vertical for like Instagram Reels and stuff. So I don't have any horizontal footage to really post on YouTube, and posting vertical videos just sucks. So I'm just going to kind of go over what I've done to the car, what my plans are. I'm about to swap a 1.8 into it here, hopefully in the next month or two. Today I'm going to be removing the dashboard and kind of getting some things ready. So I thought now is a good time to record its current state and then kind of document my process of the next version of the car. So some quick background on this car. I wanted to start drifting. I didn't know how. I didn't have a drift car, so I ended up buying this Miata to learn how to drift in and be my drift car. So it's a 1991 1.6 liter. I bought it in February of 24. It was pretty much completely stock engine wise. It only had an ISR catback, and it had some super beat raceline coilovers on it. And it broke down on me on the way home. I lasted like half an hour on the way home before it fucking broke down. So to keep a long story short, I didn't know anything about these cars when I bought it. Okay, it's a 1.6. It turns out it had crank wobble. I did manage to get it home somehow, but it was running super rough. It had crank wobble. If you don't know what that is, then consider yourself lucky. If you know, you know. So I ended up using the Loctite 660 fix. Pretty much it's like a JB Weld kind of putty, and you put it in the keyway to kind of like reshape the keyway. And I put all new timing components on, water pump. I had to put a whole new clutch on. The clutch was smoked as well. Just like a ton of maintenance, rear main seal, everything. And got it, you know, up and running, and it actually worked really well for a few months. I had no issues and everything was good. This was my lower timing gear, and that's the Woodruff key inside of it, or what's left of it, and the rest of it's like completely disintegrated. And as you can see, the keyway on my crank is just absolutely destroyed. So pretty much what I'm going to be doing is right here, you can see how much gap there is in the keyway from where the old key kind of wallowed it out. So what I'm going to do is use this Loctite 660 retaining compound. It's pretty much like a JB Weld that Loctite created for worn out keyways. And I'm just going to be filling in that gap with this Loctite here. Pretty much just rebuilding it with this liquid metal bullshit and then letting it dry. And then after it dries, I can start reassembling the rest of the timing. So after a few drift events of this thing being NA, I decided it was time to upgrade and make some more power. So obviously you can see the turbo here. So I got pretty much everything I'm going to show you in a bundle deal on Facebook Marketplace from some guy for $1,000, including the Mega Squirt ECU, which if you know is pretty much $1,000 alone. So this kit was like a steal. TO4E eBay turbo, no blow off valve, just a dose pipe and compressor surge here. Intercooler piping is also pretty much just from eBay. It's just a bunch of tubes that were kind of just cut to work. eBay intercooler here. Speedy EFI coil unplug kit. It's got flow force 640cc injectors. Kind of hard to see, but you see them in there, the blue. Speedy EFI throttle position sensor. So this is like a BMW TPS or something, but what they do is it comes with a harness that plugs into it and then plugs into your 1.6 TPS connector and makes it super easy to install. Highly recommend. This is the Miata Source IAT sensor down here, plumbed into the intercooler pipe there, the brass. So what's cool about that is this actually is also plug and play, because Miata Source provides, it's wrapped in tape right now because everything's melted. I'll get to that later. They provide a plug and play connector on that sensor, so it plugs into your AFM connector, which is right here, and it makes it super easy. No splicing or cutting wires or messing around with any of that. A few other things I got going on engine wise is a Skunk 2 radiator here. These two cooling fans I forgot to mention came with the car. I believe they're Mishimoto. They work, nothing fancy. Turbo manifold is from Juan Smoke on eBay. Okay, can't recommend Juan Smoke enough. If you are going to turbo your Miata, make sure you get a Juan Smoke exhaust manifold, or any car, dude. They make a manifold for like every car. Just go on eBay, Juan Smoke, you'll be very satisfied. Okay, lower radiator hose is from Flying Miata. So it's actually a one piece, whereas the OEM's a three piece. So it's two hoses and a metal pipe that connects the two for the OEM. It's hard to see it, but you see it. This is a one piece. It makes a lot more room for the turbo and the intercooler piping, especially if you're keeping the power steering like I did. So recommend that if you're going to turbo your Miata. It has an Innovate LC2 wideband, and then I also put in, I believe it was the Walbro 190 fuel pump. And I mean, this thing rips, man. It's been good to me. It's tuned on 14 PSI, and it's just been reliable, and it's been very fun. So moving on to suspension, I have the full destroyer die angle kit. So as you can see, I have the upper arms, the lower arms, they're super knuckles on top of the extended brake lines. I have this paired with some D2 racing coilovers, and I have SPL inner and outer tie rods. I really like this setup. I have nothing to personally compare it to, but it seems to work really well for me. It provides a lot of extra steering angle. The installation and adjustments afterwards are super straightforward, and it's just a very good kit overall. As far as the rear goes, it's all stock aside from those D2 coilovers. However, while this is a 1.6, I do have a 1.8 welded differential swapped in. The 1.8 differential can take a lot more abuse than the 1.6 can. As far as the interior goes, it's actually pretty nice. Nothing crazy. It's all basic. Did not come with door cards when I bought the car. So I bought these from Treasure Coast Miata. I believe these are off of like a 97 Miata. These don't come in a 91 because they don't have the pouch in the 91. But I got some nice door cards from Treasure Coast. Sparco steering wheel my buddy gave me. Shout out to Lincoln. I really like this steering wheel. It matches the car great. I did buy and install this hard dog roll bar. I forget exactly which version this is. I have like 3 or 4 different ones, but it's got the harness bar on it. Still on stock seats. I have a Sparco waiting to go in. Gauges. That's the Innovate wideband gauge, and then that is a glow shift boost gauge that came with the turbo kit. Radio came with it, doesn't even work. Shift knob, this has to go. This does not match my car. It bothers the hell out of me, but it came with it and it works, so it's still there. Little e-brake button that I never use. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the interior. Nothing crazy. Now that you guys have some context on the history and current condition of the car, I feel like the future will make a little more sense. So this is a BP4W I just recently picked up out of a 99 NB, and I'm going to be swapping it into my 91 NA. So I know I said this engine runs good, and it does, but you guys saw the crank wobble, okay? This car, this motor's tired, man. You know, it works, and it works fine now, but it's not going to work fine forever. I want to make more power. I want the power to be more reliable, and that's exactly what this 1.8 is going to do for me. So I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm just going to reseal and retime it. This is a complete motor. I just recently stripped it down. I already have parts on the way. So that is kind of what I'm doing here shortly, is getting ready to swap this 1.8 in here. I got to put all the accessories and sensors off my 1.6 onto here. It'll take me, I'm hoping to have it done in about a month or 2. I'm hoping, kind of just depending on how much I work on it in my free time. However, there is something a little more important that I need to take care of first. So I have a heat problem, okay? As I mentioned earlier, and you can see here, I have completely melted my speedometer cable because the turbo is getting so hot. That was like a month ago that happened. At my last drift event, it got so hot, it melted my fucking master cylinder. So luckily, there's still a little bit of fluid in there. It's just under minimum, as you can see. I wrapped it in duct tape, and I drove for another 5 hours, and somehow it did not leak again or melt anymore. So shout out to duct tape. I'm going to be getting a heat shield. Obviously, I'm replacing this. But one thing I want to do, aside from all of that, is I want to move all of the wires I have coming out of my firewall here, and I want to put them on this side of the firewall. So I'm going to delete the AC box thing that these connections are fitted to. I have the delete kit, so I can still retain the rest of my HVAC will work properly. I'm going to route all the wires on the passenger side of the firewall. That way, it's completely away from the turbo, and I have nothing to worry about as far as that goes. And for the 1.8 swap, I'm going to need to run wires from my ECU to the VIC solenoid, and it'll be a lot easier because it'll be all sitting on this side anyway. A lot better than trying to route it through from this side of the firewall. So one reason why I want to pull this dash, aside from it being easier to take the AC box out, is look at this wiring here. Okay, so like really, who knows who did this? Obviously previous owner. Okay, this is just one instance. There's other locations under the dash that look like this. You know, my radio doesn't work. Weird shit happens with the car. I have a really good feeling that some of it is because there's connections under there that are like this. Okay, so I just want to pull the dash out just so I can get a good visual on all of the wiring and kind of just redo anything that needs to be redone. Yeah, this is fun. So yeah, now you guys are pretty much all caught up on what's going on with the car. I plan on documenting pretty much everything from here on out in terms of upgrades and anything else going on with the car. Next video, I'm going to be pulling the dashboard and just kind of trying to fix whatever messed up wiring I see and getting that AC box deleted. And then after that, it's just going to be getting this 1.8 ready to swap in. So pretty excited about that. Should be cool. Focus, guys. I didn't forget the EcoBoost is still in the works. The progress is extremely slow, but progress is being made. It's just kind of on the back burner right now because this is way more important to me at the moment. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. If you guys have Instagram, follow me on Instagram. My link will be in the description. And yeah, thanks for watching, and hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.